for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. See, Pam, you,
Mr. Chairman,
yes,
I'd like to ask the board if they would consider a motion to opening the agenda for 3B, so we have public comment.
is there? Second, is there any discussion? All in favor? Okay,
Mr. Chairman,
yes,
I'd like to accept the appointment of Carol Franco to be an alternate to the Senior Citizens Commission.
is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Thank you. 3B.
Was that, I'm sorry, was that Tim Sadler seconding?
Yes.
Yes.
And Bob was the first one.
Bob. Pam.
Yeah.
Pam was the first.
So now
Right,
we, oh, go
Maura
ahead.
seconded. I just
Yes.
want to make sure that was Maura that seconded. Thank you.
Public comment?
I have
Is there
one comment.
Yes, go ahead, Jim.
Two things. First, I want to thank, the hard work of Selectmen Pam, Bob, and Amanda for their service. It's a lot of time and effort going into it, and I really appreciate the work they've done as a selectman for a lot of years. Well, Amanda, not quite so long. And I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Second thing is, there's been significant lighting changes at the town hall. And I just hope that the town will, in the future, I don't know, maybe they did, get some public comment on it, where they put it, what they do and how they do it. I think it happened kind of as a surprise to me. And I just wish that the public had an opportunity to comment on it. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. And,
Thank you for your kind words, Jim,
Yes, sir.
You're welcome.
and thank you for attending so many meetings.
My pleasure. I think.
number 4, resignations.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to accept the resignation of Cheryl Uden as a senior van driver with regrets, as she has been excellent and provided many hours of special service to the town and to seniors and people who need to be transported.
I'll second that one and also like to thank her for her years of service as both a driver and all the other extras that she has done at the senior center. Cheryl, good job. We're gonna miss you, kid.
And she was also on the Board of Assessment Appeals.
She's been there a long time.
She didn't resign from that yet, did she?
No,
She hasn't been on in a number of years.
Oh, all right. Thank you again, Cheryl. We appreciate all your efforts you put in. Any other discussion? All in favor? Get 7 yes. Next, we have correspondence. We have, do you want to speak on the resignation or the?
It's double-sided.
Oh.
I'm sorry. That's very exciting. This is
Yeah.
Oh, I was here. Oh, damn. Okay. I thought I was special.
We have double-sided minutes or to say paper to say.
Now I can't reuse it for notes.
Right,
No. Yeah.
so the,
So we have Mr. Chairman, we have a memorandum sent to us from the HR coordinator that the issue has been resolved with the board clerk's payment. So there's no need to have a subcommittee meeting.
is there any other discussion? Great,
Thank our board clerk one more
glad to
time.
hear.
Thank you.
Thank you, Casey, one more time. Or wait, maybe many more times. Yeah, I
Thank you.
hope.
And
Thank you for your help. I appreciate it.
We're communicating regularly, which I think is really the solution.
Very good.
Yes.
Can I ask Paul a question? So since this was about like finance protocols, was anything written down in terms of like procedurally
I think,
as a result of the meeting so
I
that
think
I
it's a
can,
temporary solution.
oh, okay.
We're looking for a better solution, but we have a solution at the moment that is working for Casey and it's working for us.
Okay, I mean, because the ultimate goal is to have like a procedure, right, for, that would be a blanket one for all.
Correct.
Right. Um, moving on to 5B, Attorney Barger, sent a letter in reference to the Brandy Street area where the drainage was, illegally being dumped onto his property and creating a wet area where they couldn't hay or anything. And they've since corrected it.
The property had been transferred as which is an easement, which is held by the Connecticut Farmland Trust. And there's approximately 22 acres. And it was a very complimentary letter to the town.
Thank you, Rich. I'm glad we could kindly assist you there.
And you should note that it did resolve an issue that's been there for decades. And it, with modifying the courts, it just made it even, really brought it to a head. But this solves an issue that has been longstanding, and kudos to whoever laid it out and designed it, because it works great. And that piece of land now can be fully hay. Prior to that, you simply couldn't do it.
And thank you to the town staff that did the work. They did a
They
great job.
worked hard on it.
I don't believe the grass is growing. Moving on to number 6, consider an act on,
You had one more correspondence.
5C, sorry. The Department of Transportation federal grant funding under the Federal Transit Administration has turned down our request for money for a van slash senior bus.
Kept it in.
Yeah, right.
That
So that was a request for 55,000?
47.
Well, remember, we already applied, I think, $15,000 of the ARPA funds to it.
Okay.
So I want to say the total cost was 85, but I think it was around 70.
Oh,
So that's the end of that whole.
but it's still on the list for potential future funding.
Yes.
Yeah, we still have to,
One
we
can
have,
help.
we have to figure out what to do with the 15,000, because I think we've got a deadline to spend that 15,000. So, Carrie and I will be discussing that later on this.
Well, we left it in the
It's in
capital,
capital, it's still in capital, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
but didn't we left the rest of it in capital? So we should be able to buy the van, right?
I think that's accurate.
Okay,
Yeah, I think because that was our intent. So that
right,
in case.
Cause we didn't want to lose the 15,000.
right.
Right.
We left it in.
Number 6, consider an act on applying for an aquatic invasive species grant.
So this is a grant that we've applied for a couple of times. It hasn't been available in the last couple of years. And what it does is that we budget money every year, and this is, part of the ongoing conversation about budgeting money that we don't spend. So we budget money every year in case we have to treat the lake. In the last 2 years, we've been fortunate and have not had to treat the lake, but we budget $15,000 for that possible treatment. The grant is available at this point in time. I would have until sometime in December to get the grant application in. I may need to spend a little bit of money with a consultant to help us get the grant application done. But the grant application, we've had it in the past, has fully paid for any lake treatments that we've had to have.
And I think it also provides an opportunity to just be a little bit more aggressive on our surveys, which, without having to come out of our.
Right, we pay for the lake survey every year anyway, and this would help cover the cost of the lake
Right.
survey. That's correct.
So if the lake doesn't have to be treated, where does the money go if we get the grant?
So we would apply for what we typically, so we have expenses that we expend every year on the management of the lake. So we would apply for the amount that we would need. So typically we spend $5,000 with Solitude Lake Management, and they put all of our permits in, because the permits have to go in usually sometime December or January. They're applying for the permits to DEP for lake treatments in the event that we have to, because you can't say, oh, we have a problem, let's treat the lake. You can't get the permits fast enough to actually get the treatment done.
Mhm.
By the time you get the permits, so we would use the grant money to do that piece of it. We would use the grant money to to pay for the surveys that we do every year. So we actually have George Knockline and his firm go out twice a year, and they do surveys of the lake to determine where we have aquatic invasive species, if we have aquatic invasive species, and they make recommendations for treatment based on those surveys.
And some of it is actually just, if it's in a small area, they simply remove it.
Sometimes you can just.
You can just remove it without having to do any treatment to it, but you never know, that's the issue. Because that can explode, which obviously we all know what that leads to, so.
And we have some water quality testing that's done, you know. Friends of Bolton Lake, that group is gracious enough to take the samples, but we pay around $150 a month to have those analyzed.
Mhm.
So we would cover all of those known costs.
Mhm. And who's the grant through?
The DEP.
Okay.
So I would ask if the board would indulge us to consider an act on that.
Well,
I'll make a
Okay.
motion that we apply for the aquatic invasive species grant.
I'd like to second that, because I think it's a great thing to have in your back pocket, just in case.
Any other comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, it's 7 yes. Let's see, any questions on the finance reports that you could answer?
They're not showing any anomalies at this point, which is one of the reasons that we put these together, just to make sure that our spending is on track. And if you remember from the past, if we had an issue, we would highlight that for you, but right now, we're not seeing any negative trend.
And the tax collections coming in, Mr. Rupert?
Yeah.
Are they was it you expecting with the two-part?
Yes, I think it's actually probably going a little better than we anticipated.
Anything else on the,
No, I don't have anything more. That's the question.
is there any questions? No? Okay, and now for number 8, consider an act on the accounts payable?
Chairman,
Yes.
the accounts payable, listed for the month for the 25-26 year. I would make a motion that we approve $242,914.42. So it's 242,914.42.
Second. Is there any discussion, any questions? Yes.
I do. Page 3, this is the second entry under this, CAI Technologies, the database maintenance and support. So which database is that?
So this is the assessor's map. We had an opportunity to get our assessor's maps brought up to date for those fees and annual maintenance. So that, because currently for the last, I don't know how many years, our assessor's maps have been hand drawn. And at this point, they're, you know, with these funds, we're able to get them electronically taken care of, and then there will be an ongoing annual maintenance of those maps from this point forward.
So if somebody sells a piece of property, it's been like a year before our assessor's maps actually show that, or?
So somebody selling a piece of property is captured much more quickly than somebody subdividing a piece of property. So that's where we get changes in the assessor's map. Currently, the only maps that we've had available in electronic format have been through CROG's GIS, and this will also help integrate and update CROG's GIS maps
that's
so that
good.
they're more accurate.
Because they don't seem to get updated very,
That's
Quickly.
annual at best.
yeah,
You're
yeah, okay. All right. Page page 13. This is the question about the Minuteman security for the town hall cameras and monitor. Are those for the ballot boxes? The cameras for the ballot?
No, those are for cameras that were added so that we can see what we need to be seeing from the selectman's office.
Just weren't there.
That one. Oh,
So they're in there at night. And they have cameras now that they can see what's going on out here.
they mean,
Because Kathy used to sit right there. She's now in the back room, so
oh,
Sue Ellen's not here. They're in the back room, they can't see nothing, so we opted to put 4 cameras in, and there's a screen where they can see what's going on,
I see. So the screen is in there and,
monitor,
and there's
actually.
cameras around.
Right.
And so they see who's coming into the building.
Right.
And it's not integrated with any other camera system, correct? I think
It's not
standalone.
integrated with anything else. It's, you know, for customer service so that we can see if somebody's approaching so that we can help them, but also B, for security.
Okay.
So what happens when, like, is someone in that back office always the last to leave? Like, cause Kara's here pretty late, or what if people are in the other side, or like, I don't know, just in terms of
Doors
security?
downstairs, the store is locked, the doors downstairs are locked,
Okay,
and she opts to work those hours on her own.
okay, so nobody can get in.
Correct. The doors are locked.
So if a resident comes in during the day, they no longer see somebody sitting at that desk?
Well, there's somebody sitting at the desk, but
Oh.
if she happens to be out sick or she's in the restroom or getting her lunch,
Oh, I see.
this alerts Kathy and I to the fact that somebody's coming and we can step out and greet them.
I get it. Okay. Yeah, all right, thank you. Okay, page 15, this is under our, engineer's breakdown of what he's working on. Could you remind me, the town center SSDS, which map is that?
SSDS is the MS4 stormwater, which is an unfunded mandate by the state of
Oh, yeah.
Connecticut.
Oh, okay, now, okay, so it says final design, so that means it's done? I guess.
So what is it, what does that mandate us to do?
We have, well, currently we have to track all of our stormwater and do stormwater testing. But by 2028, they're requiring us to geospatially locate every catch basin and outfall in the town of Bolton.
Okay, that part I was aware
Mm.
of, okay. I remember that.
So this is a design of what?
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to, this is why I don't like double-sided, because I can't find the
Oh.
page.
Good thing they're numbered, then it'd be really a.
Yeah, but we made sure that they remember.
So it's on
Page,
it's on 15.
oh, I thought it was 19. 13. 15. Oh, the SSDS, that's the septic system.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Oh, the
The right
septic.
one.
Okay, so that's the septic system behind Heritage Farm, behind.
Right, so final design is probably a little bit misleading. We're at the final design to the point that we brought it to the Inland Wetlands Commission, and
Okay,
they've requested some additional information.
okay,
So final design is not yet quite final,
okay,
but we're certainly in that final design phase.
okay. And then, the last entry there, the boat SIP sidewalk design preliminary and final design. Does that mean that the DOT's comments were all addressed?
So we addressed DOT comments. Last week, we actually got a approval of scope change from them. So I have Joe working on a couple of final tweaks, and then we will have to bring it back to the Board of Selectmen, because based on their comments, we have had changes since your adoption of the plan as a board.
Okay.
So I've got him working on a couple of tweaks, and then it will come back to the Board of Selectmen for approval before we take it any further.
Okay, good. All right, page 16, I see a bill for salt water to sawdust, sorry.
Yep.
$3,000 for junior ranger
Yeah, that
badges?
is something so that was requested by, Johnny Carawan, who is part of the, Washington Rochambeau route. That's something he asked us to use. We still had about $15,000 in grant money out there. And he asked us to get these things for part of that, use up that grant money because we have to use it or we have to give it back to the National Park Service. So they said if we bought these junior ranger badges and use them as part of our 250th anniversary, they will allow us to use the remaining $7,500 for the parking lot improvements that we wanted as part of the trail that the state would not fund. So we agreed on those things.
Okay, so these funds are coming out of,
It's coming out of a grant. It's coming out of a grant.
Yep.
Monies that we've already collected.
It's an older grant.
it's a what grant?
It was a grant that we got for the 300th anniversary. And
Yeah, not one that we-
they need the money spent.
Right.
So it doesn't disappear.
Okay, thank you. All right, oh yeah, this is just a question on page 17, site one landscape supply, and then I have the same comment, on page 18 for Superior Products. Looks like we're purchasing hay. I'm just wondering if we could buy our hay from local farmers. You know, why,
Sometimes we do.
okay, why don't we do it all the time? Because it seems like, to me, what a great way to support our local farmers and why go through these?
No, they don't always have it available.
Well, okay, then that's understandable.
And one of those farmers actually works for the town. So I don't feel it's appropriate to be purchasing hay from an employee of the town. We don't need that question.
All right, well, we've got the Pease Farm, we've got the Gilio
So
Farm.
we
so-
do when we can.
Yeah, okay, good, yeah. Good, I just think that's something we should support our local businesses in general and
And-
agriculture.
And sometimes it's straw, not hay, and our farmers typically don't raise straw
Mhm.
because straw doesn't have the seeds in it that hay does.
Mhm. Yeah, I think the Pease Farm does. I'm not positive about that.
And a lot of it is chopped straw too.
Right.
What we bale here, it's the whole long strand straw. You notice around, that's rarely used in, you guys don't use that, you use chopped straw because it spreads better and covers better
It holds better.
and holds better.
Yeah.
It doesn't blow away like the other stuff does.
Yes,
And it doesn't grow back.
Well, rye doesn't. If it does, it dies. You know,
Yeah.
It's one and done.
that's all I
Yeah.
had, yes.
Is there any other questions?
I had questions to Jim's point earlier about the light poles and supplies for town hall meeting, or the town hall parking lot. I know I've missed a couple meetings, so was this discussed with the board before the project moved ahead in the town hall parking lot? Cause it looks like it was about $13,000. So like, what was the purpose behind?
Safety? Get the new parking lot, so just trying to improve the look of the town hall and safety of it. And most of that work was done within the highway department and
So a lot of the labor was supplied by town employees, and the project was done completely within departmental money.
and as you see, when you go out tonight, you'll feel much safer.
Was the Wetlands Commission consulted about that? Because I think it's wetlands right off the edge of the pavement, right on the west side.
They were not consulted prior to the project starting.
Were they after it started? Okay, and they approved it?
They did not.
They didn't approve the project, but the project went forward anyway?
The project was already done.
Okay, what did they have to say about that?
They were concerned about where the digging took place for the conduit.
Okay, I think maybe that's a lesson then to,
Well,
I mean, the wet, any
I'll say what I said at the wetlands meeting, which was the people who were in charge of the project thought that the wetlands were much further back. In fact, the wetlands mapping we have does not show wetlands right up against the parking lot. However, in the 13 years since the wetlands were mapped, the wetland soils had changed. And the town has had a very, very good track record of seeking wetlands permits whenever they think there's gonna be an impact to wetlands. The project that took place on Brandy Street, for the drainage on Brandy Street, we had a wetlands permit for it. The project that we undertook on Keeney Drive, we had a wetlands permit for. We've applied for wetlands permits for the heritage. We will be applying for the Heritage Farm Trail. We have applied for one for the community septic system. We have applied for one for Herrick Park. It was a mistake.
And if you look at the wetlands map, even the one now, it still doesn't show that area that we worked on as wetlands.
Right.
So it was actually, if, I mean, that's a mistake that anyone can make, because if you do your due diligence, check your wetlands map and you're not in it. I mean, unless you're a soil scientist, and,
well, you can tell by vegetation though.
well,
And there are phragmites there and it's, so anyway, I'm just saying mapping is not the only indicator of.
well, no,
Of
no,
wetlands.
well, I know that, you know, that's part of my studies, but I'm just saying, but look, just looking at the project as going forward, I don't think there's anybody, any staff member who knowingly moved ahead without going to inland wetlands. I don't believe that at all. I never will. I know the staff as well as anybody. And
So did
mistakes.
the Wetlands Commission like go and test the soil after it?
So somebody brought it to our attention and we went out there with the wetlands agent. And she found that the soils had changed since the last
Yeah.
mapping, which was.
Because the only way
15
you can
years.
actually determine anything is by the soil type, but those vegetation is in Rhode Island and stuff. It would be an indicator to test, right?
Yeah.
But, you know,
But there are some species of vegetation that are
would be indicative.
called obligate species, which means that is a wetland soil. And Phragmites is one of them,
Oh, okay.
the one with the big.
That
poofy-
supersedes your soil. A soil test.
Well, it's indicative of wetland soils.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it's indicative, may not, you have to test the soil.
I guess that begs the question, do we need to redo our wetlands mapping? And what would that cost? And is that something we need to be planning for the future? Or do we need to implement some type of process, since our maps are inaccurate, whereby anybody trying to do a project needs to go in front of inland wetlands and say, is this something we need a permit for? So that something, I mean, the town can be as judicious as they, as, right, I don't think the town's gonna make that mistake again, but someone else might.
So that process is already in place for anybody that requires a permit. And it was not caught in the permitting process.
Oh, okay.
So normally what happens when a permit is pulled that will require soil disturbance, you know, the wetlands agent is flagged to look at it, and that normally in my almost 20 years here in town, I've never, and I spent most of that in the land use office, that process has never failed to my knowledge.
And this is for one conduit.
Is that process written down?
Yeah, yes, it is,
Okay.
actually. There's a whole policy and procedure manual for, that is the one department that has a very
Perfect.
thorough policy and
Okay.
procedure manual,
And that field gets mowed once a year, twice a year,
once a year.
once a year. It's a working field. Just doesn't grow and turn into tree forest. So in order to maintain the field, it has to be maintained.
And so have we identified the staff person whose job it would be to flag that normally and had a conversation with that employees? Okay.
Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 7 yes. Next is consider an act on budget transfers.
I don't think there's any action required.
Mr. Chairman, just for, informational purposes, there was one thing for emergency management for a transfer of $1,200 in the category of other supplies to repair and maintenance. And it was signed off by Mr. Rupert.
Very good. Next,
Can I just,
go ahead.
this isn't something that we normally have, that we had a house fire. And we were not successful in getting the owners of the building to board it up in a timely fashion. And the building code says that the building official shall cause it to be, contained. And so we ended up having to spend some money, and it seemed like a logical place for us to take the money. So we don't really normally have a line item for that. So we boarded up the building. They've been sent a letter from the town attorney's office to request payment, and there will be a lien put on the property. So we should recoup that money.
This was the one up on Birch Mountain.
Yeah. Just so you know what the expense was for.
Do we know what happened there? Like how, because it was it's an empty building, right?
It was an empty building, but it did have electricity to it. As far as I know, the cause is still under investigation.
Is it known to have sputters?
Not known for that, no.
Good question. I never would have thought of that.
That's the field I worked in.
It was very vacant every time I went by. There was no activity. Let's see, approval of minutes, number 10.
I don't think the
Yeah, I
minutes
don't
were
think-
included in
I
the
think
packet.
Mr. Chairman, I would ask that we postpone these minutes until the next meeting.
Approval of minutes is being postponed until next meeting. And number 11,
Mr. Selectman, I move we adjourn.
And with that, can I just interrupt one second?
Yeah.
Since this is our final meeting.
yeah,
We can make another one if you want.
What's that?
We can make another one.
No, no.
Amanda?
Don't even think I'm suggesting that.
Proud.
But I would like to thank the board and all the staff members of this town for all the work that they've done. Okay, and the next boards will continue to do. Having worked with board since 1989, I've really enjoyed, I'm gonna get my last few words in. I've enjoyed it, and I've had a lot of fun, and I am thrilled to see members of this board are at least half my age here. That to me is the biggest achievement I would have had in my entire career here. So thank you all. It's been a pleasure.
Thank
working
you.
with- And I don't care if you were Republican or Democrat, didn't make any difference. One thing I can say that I will say, and if every board I've worked on, it made no difference. After about 2 weeks or 2 months, that was it. It was a board of selectmen for the town of Bolton, period. And I think this town should be proud of that. And with that, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Bob.
thank you.
I would like to say thank you also. It's been 43 years that I've served the town on one board or another. And it's been an honor. And I agree with Bob because I have found not only have I made personal friends being on the board, I have served with some amazing people who give their time and their energy. And I want to thank those people who have stepped forward and put their name on the ballot this time. That's really been, their arms have been twisted, I suppose, a little bit. And it's more than one meeting a month, but other than that, I'd like to thank them for their upcoming service.
Well,
Now I'll make a motion to adjourn.
well, we thank you both very much for your time and efforts over the many, many years. And we're sorry you're leaving us alone.
Yep. I'd like to say thank you to Amanda for serving the last 2 years too.
Yeah.
She's been a great colleague.
And hopefully I'll be back
Thank you.
eventually.
Eventually. When you have a 4-year-old?
Yeah.
I'd like to say thank you very much to Pam and Amanda. thank you for teaching us. We started out
Very.
pretty green and
Yeah.
I think we're ready to, continue forward and continue learning and continue to work on behalf of the town as a team.
Well said.
Thank you for your,
Good luck.
many.
And may the future bring you a lot of federal money to build that soccer team
Yeah.
and the field and everything else for the school.
20 million in grants next year.
You got it.
Yeah.
And before you vote on adjournment, if I could just say, it's been great to work with you all, and I expect to see all of you from time to time. The meeting on the 18th, if you are available, one of the things with Roddy's indulgence, we will have on the agenda is the goals that this board has set. So if you're available to come and to, participate in that conversation with the new board on the 18th, that would, I think, be really wonderful. If you can't, we certainly understand, but I think it's important, this board has worked really hard to set those goals, and you put a lot of effort in. I won't say the strides have been great because progress is slow, but, I think those are key things that you've identified that the new board needs to continue to work on. So I think if you have the time and ability to join us for that meeting, again, with Roddy's indulgence, we'll have that on the agenda for discussion.
Sure, just tell them not to get too wordy so it's too long.
Like, I think we're talking about pushing the splash pad.
It almost sounds like you want to use this.
Rodney's.
No, it's for Amanda Stein.
So now if you want to vote to adjourn, yeah.
All in favor?
Ah.
Adjourn.
Thank you, Casey.